What's up? Welcome to the Oh Dear
What
podcast.
up?
Hi.
How's it going? Two of us are like radio voices. Like, hey, how's it going? We went, hi.
We just lost every listener.
Yeah.
We're like,
Well,
Jesus. It's like, welcome to the Oh Dear podcast.
I had to make my mark.
It is it's a rainy night in Brooklyn, and we got some tunes that'll keep you warm.
On your
all night.
Doppler radar, there's a crash on I-95, so you're going to take I-270.
This is the night the rains came down in Houston.
Weather on the ones. We'll be back in 9 minutes.
Here's a sincere question. Is there a weather podcast?
Yeah.
There
Oh,
is.
no, podcast.
Oh,
no.
wow.
That'd
A weather-based podcast where... Because my dad's a pretty big fan of the weather.
Yeah.
I think that becomes one of your interests as you get older.
I think it would have to be like extreme weather. Like they'd have to cover just tornadoes.
Oh, of course. They're not like,
They're not going to be like, just a normal
Seattle.
weather report from yesterday when they record it.
It would have to be like the people that the movie Twister was based on. Like those people.
Because how lame would it be if someone's just listening to yesterday's weather recorded on a podcast form?
but
Like, oh, did you know yesterday in Phoenix it was 70? Like, it doesn't matter.
My mom is so supportive. If I recorded that podcast as a bit, she would listen to it. I could get the Willa to be the one listener of Bret Raybould's
Well,
Weather
I gotta
Report.
say, I think I probably have my podcast idea now, guys. Now
Oh
that
my
I
God.
have my second podcast, it's gonna be with the weather with wit.
Whitmer on the ones.
Yeah, Whitmer on the ones, baby.
Oh, by the way, guys, we have a camera now for the first time.
Yes.
Whit, feel free to cheat out to that. Christian,
Yeah.
look at me. You're back. But yeah, that's pretty nifty, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys are gonna really enjoy this camera portion of it. I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Yeah.
It's really warm.
Look how is someone behind me?
It's
No,
actually a
it's
little
a mannequin.
I've looked at it 4 times
Oh my
thinking it's
God.
somebody. It's weird.
Oh,
Super scary. And it's headless too.
Yeah, I do not like that there is this mannequin right here. Are you gonna
do
go beat
something
it up?
about it?
What's?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just getting water. Wow,
We're
all
really.
right.
It's really good to explore the
I love it.
space
Yeah, I know.
in an audio podcast.
I was doing some physical bits, guys. You didn't see it?
I was like, did Whitmer? Is he walking out? I mean, I know it's not our hottest start ever, but
Yeah, no, he's like,
It's
watch
fucking
this.
embarrassment, dude.
Watch this. And just leaves.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
all right, yeah. I mean, we're still gonna do it. But that actually
That's
would
my
be a
Gallagher
great.
moment.
Yeah.
Remember when Gallagher walked off with WTF?
How weird
Oh,
is
yeah.
it that there is like podcast lore? That there's like
I know.
lore of podcasts that like people will talk about. Oh, that's a big podcast moment.
Like Marin is on what, episode 1,000 and something.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
much?
crazy.
And
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is more than that, and they do 3 hours every time.
Yeah.
Does he still do his? Of course he
Marin?
does, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because
You know,
I don't check
of
anymore.
course. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Like, I think I'm still subscribed, but I haven't listened to it in a long time.
Really? That's interesting. I think that's one of my go-tos. I probably twice a month I listen to it. It depends on the
Yeah.
guest, though.
Because he doesn't do he was doing it for a little bit, but like repeat guests. So it's like, some of the people I don't care what like fucking Taylor Hackford has to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does get a little obscure when it gets into like punk musicians from the 70s who I've never
Right.
heard of. I'm like, I'm not listening to that.
It's
I
like
just
this
don't.
guy.
Yeah.
This guy stood in on drums for one Iggy Pop concert.
Yeah, exactly.
And Marin's like, "Oh man, yeah. Oh man, it's
What was it fucking like?
Guy's like, I don't know. I didn't even shake his hand, to be honest.
I never heard of Iggy Pop until after someone told me it was a big deal, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "Do you know what you just did?" And I said, "No, I didn't."
I have something I came in wanting to talk about.
Oh,
Which
yeah?
I feel like is not often. I feel like we
No.
come in, we're like, we'll just feel it out.
Just dick around.
We'll dick around. We'll noodle.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? No noodling. I have something I want to talk about.
All right, let's bring it.
Well, it's not something I'm going to talk about, but it's something that will bring something out of someone else.
Oh.
Christian has been caught watching porn.
Oh my!
What happened?
Is there a story? I was told to ambush you with the fact that you've been caught watching porn.
Oh, so you went
is
on the
that
road.
correct?
You went on the road with Jordan this weekend.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something, because this sounds like something Jordan would just make up.
Yeah.
Like based off of you were literally or had an Instagram story and it was like Halle Berry, whatever her name is, and she just was in a bikini and Jordan's like, "Were you looking at porn?" And then it became a bit.
Oh yeah.
Is that what happened, or were you legit
By the
looking
way,
at porn?
No.
Anytime when you're like doing a quick riff that you do have to like correct your own pronunciation.
Yeah, it's never good.
Because like, it would be funny, but when you're like Halle Berry, Holly Berry, now I'm just listening to like, is it Halle Berry?
I'm like, Halle? It's Halle.
You know, it's Halle.
Not Holly. It's
I
Halle.
didn't even hear what else you said. It could have been hilarious, but I just wasn't able to laugh.
It wasn't, don't worry.
But is that a rumor Jordan is starting about you? Were you caught watching porn this past weekend?
No, I wasn't caught watching porn.
You were. My God.
It was.
Christian was caught watching porn this past.
It's a funny word, caught.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't caught. Like I wasn't in the act of watching porn. No.
It was. Yeah, caught makes it sound like you wanted to catch them. Like I caught you.
Well, yeah, it sounds like he was sneaking it. And Jordan walked in on him. And he's like, "What?"
No, it wasn't even like that.
Can I make a guess what it was?
Go ahead.
You know how everybody watches porn on their phones now?
Yeah.
Did you just leave it up on accident and then you open up your phone and it was just porn?
No.
Oh, no.
This didn't have anything to do with Jordan. You're on the right button. You're on the right track.
You were at a playground or what was it?
Kindergarten?
No, my there was like Showtime softcore porn that I saw while my fiance was out of town.
Uh-huh.
And then it was still on the Apple TV when she went to watch it. And she was like, "Oh, I saw that." And I was like, "Oh, all right."
How did you learn about it, Brett?
Because I told Jordan about it when I was like,
Oh.
when we were going through it.
You can't figure out the information channels?
Well, no, I was just since he went on the road with Jordan and Jordan's your brother, I just assumed that something happened this weekend and Jordan told you. I didn't think Natasha would tell you.
Yeah, I know. No, Natasha didn't.
I mean, like, why would Natasha call
like,
you and be
"Hey,
like, Brett, you'll never
look what I
believe
found."
it. Okay.
Although it would be like me to just be in text conversations with your fiancés just so I can get shit on you.
Just to get some stuff.
Heard Whitmer heard you finished pretty early last night.
Not telling a lie.
That was it though? Man,
Yeah,
I thought it was more of a story. So your
It
fiance
was like it was a thing for like a hot minute, but that was about it.
But
It
like,
was
yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it was like you know. I was like, what is this?
If she
cares?
found a condom, it'd be a big deal.
Yeah, I know,
But
exactly.
who cares?
Yeah,
I don't
That's
know,
also
man.
like the most
It's-
innocent porn. There's not even
I
penetration.
know. It was like it really
no,
was.
but dude,
It's Showtime porn. It's like really like lame.
It's so lame.
that is true. That like that's a way more safe porn to I guess have your partner see you
Yeah.
having watched
Yeah.
than like
Midget porn or something
just
like that.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Like what? She's like a midget wearing a ski mask. It's like, huh?
like you were so like you've watched so much midget porn
Yeah.
that you now need like the ski mask
Yeah.
subset.
You
like,
need niche midget porn.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
The midget porn is not good enough.
That's
Well,
not-
it's so weird that like every piece of porn you watch is like everything is a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so let's say if you watch foot porn, right? And you need the girl to have a toe ring, like, you know what I mean? Like every piece of it is like a.
You're like, I need a foot tattoo on her left foot.
Yeah, I know.
And a toe ring on her right foot,
It just
or else
gets-
this doesn't work for me.
Isn't it weird that every person can have very strict writers about the porn they watch?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And all of porn is like, no, we got you covered.
Well, they keep,
like we'll figure.
they, they keep making porn. They don't need to. They just keep making
Yeah.
it. There doesn't need. No one's like waiting for the new shit.
See,
Yeah.
I disagree.
It's that
No.
great Louis bit where he's like, "We could stop making porn right now, and you wouldn't. We wouldn't
And no one's
even watch it all."
like I said,
No.
no one's waiting for the new shit. It's
Yeah,
not
but-
like, oh, Childish Gambino has a new record coming. No one. It's not like that at all.
no, but we do need new porn because you haven't seen what I can do. Like I want to
Put me in, coach.
I want to put my spin on this shit.
Yeah, I think I would be a great porn writer actually, because they don't
'Cause you
commit
don't-
to story at all.
Yeah.
Like
Because,
story is so
you know how I
important to
know
me.
you'd be a good porn writer because you're literate. That's all. That's the only qualification.
I was gonna ask you, did you watch purposely seek out the softcore Skinemax porn just for the
No.
story? Because they always have at least a narrative.
It's just on the Apple TV. It's just the only thing that's on this like Apple TV. Like I'm not.
So
gonna
you just
go,
wanted porn on the big screen rather than on your computer?
I just didn't want to leave my room.
Okay, that's fair.
So I just had it right there. I was like, all right, this is what's going to happen. It's just like, you know, you just gotta. It's like a valve. You
I
gotta.
like we were
release.
just talking about how people get so specific with this porn, and his is just like, I don't feel like moving. So what's the closest thing I can jerk off to? Oh, I know.
Skinemax.
Skinemax. Let's do this.
He tried just the remote. He
Yeah.
tried just feeling the remote and was like, oh, it's hourglass. It's kind
Almost
of.
there.
Did you guys remember that? Like when dial
Can I
up.
just interrupt your point to go? Of course, Christian watches softcore porn. The most even keeled man.
Yeah.
Just you don't want it to be too gross or pervy.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't need a lot of like. If it looks sloppy, I'm a little bit like when it gets messy, and
Like the softcore messy?
No, like regular porn
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
like bodily fluids. I get like
Yeah, and you're a film guy. Like you want,
Yeah.
you want them to have used a good camera.
A little bit,
Like,
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
like, you're like,
dude,
don't just
the
do it.
Skinamax stuff's in 4K, man. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I also don't. I don't like it when nobody looks like they're having fun. Like
Yeah.
when it's like really aggressive. I'm like, this is not like
Yeah.
no one. You didn't get her permission for
Yeah,
this.
I would like. There's weird porn's cruel because like the casting couch is a good example. Why can't it just be like? Why does it have to be under the guise of that it's a fake audition? Why can't it just be a porn audition? People be like, that's hot. No, there has to be an extra layer of this isn't even real.
Again, it's
she's a fucking idiot. She's blowing me. She's so stupid. Why is that part of it? Why can't it just be this is porn tryouts? That's the porn it is. Like, why can't that be it?
because there's a guy out there who needs the toe ring on.
Yeah.
That's what it is for him.
Yeah.
That's his toe ring.
It's just so an extra layer of meanness that
Yeah.
just doesn't need to be there.
I think a lot of it is like that kind of shit is for guys who like, I don't know, who are just like mad at like, that's a fucking girl from high school. Like they picture the girl from high school that they wouldn't talk to,
Yeah.
and they're like, bitch.
Life went off the rails.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when you had like dial-up growing up? And I don't know how your situation was, but basically like there was a family computer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just remember like it wasn't always practical to go jerk off with a family computer.
Right.
Yeah.
So like what you would do is late at night, what I would do late at night would be you just start scrolling through cable trying to find anything that will remotely get you.
Yeah, Kardashians.
No, this is before that. I'm older than
Oh.
you, but
yeah.
So I used to turn it like Howard Stern had a TV show for a while,
Yeah.
and sometimes every now and then, mostly it was comedy, but sometimes it'd be something like,
like some girl.
women making out or something. And then I remember the worst one is I turned it to the Talk Sex with Sue. Do you remember that show? It's an old lady.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
she was like a sex expert.
Radio program?
No, well, it might have been. She was literally.
Yeah.
It was a pretty low budget. Like it was an educational thing, but I remember watching it as a kid, waiting for something hot to happen. They're like, they're talking about it. There's gotta going to show something.
Nope.
And then you would get to the end where like the scrambled channels, and you would like,
Well,
you're like, hey,
you know-
there's some tits there. There's some.
I think I can speak for my generation, which is the Girls Gone Wild commercial during Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Was like, I think that's why I became a fan of comedy, was just the Girls Gone Wild commercial. I saw them out, and then I was like, yes, I'll watch comedy while I'm trying to watch this.
The comedy was the subliminal message.
yeah. Comedy was totally secondary, and then I just watched so much comedy because I was always trying to find that commeral.
Yeah. That's
So
funny.
that's how I became a fan.
That was like a huge empire for a while.
Yeah.
The Girls Gone Wild thing.
Yeah, that guy, that was a huge empire.
I know.
Well,
But
that guy's lucky that he's not around anymore, because that would be like the biggest Me Too thing.
Oh, I know.
Like he would have been taken down. Like
he was kind of Me Too back then.
Oh,
Like,
was he?
was already
Yeah, I don't know. I
scumbag.
just figured he probably like grew up. Right? He's like he's
No.
42.
It's just-
He's
He's
like
in jail.
It
he's
bump-
in jail.
You didn't know that?
No, what
Joe
happened?
Francis
You want to
is
hear
in
something
jail.
hilarious? I mean, he probably should be in jail, let's be
Yeah.
honest. But he's in jail, and the shooter of Ronald Reagan is not.
Callback to episode 1.
Yeah.
The Ronald Reagan's shooter is out free, but this guy is in
Joe
jail.
Francis, yeah, he's in jail. I mean, I don't know if he's still there, but he definitely went to jail
Was
for
it
like
for
fraud
like,
or
yeah,
whatever.
Okay, that's
but
what I
like,
say. It's probably like a white collar crime, right?
and and like Doug Stanhope was on that Girls Gone Wild tour bus, right? And
Wait, he was in for fraud? Not for like sexual shit?
It might be.
I just feel like
don't
guys
know.
like that always have a bunch of rich quick schemes,
Let me see,
and
actually.
when one of them works, it illuminates all the dark shit he was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Trying to get famous on the other end of it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this guy donates to fake charities and pockets the money or something. And I'm like, it always pops up some story like that with guys like that. I don't know.
It bums me out to hear he's a scumbag because I idolized
he
him
was
for
doing
so long.
the Lord's work for so long.
You know, I just such a person do you just look up to. And you're like,
I get it.
God, I try and it breaks my heart that we just are in a different media landscape where there can't be another, Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that will never be rebooted. They will reboot every franchise in existence. I guarantee there's a Casablanca reboot in the next 5 years. Guarantee it. Swear to God. Guarantee it. I mean,
he's got a lot of fucking shit
Christian.
going on.
Oh, yeah.
In January 2011, Francis brought a group of 3 women to his home, leading to 5 charges, 3 misdemeanor counts of
Wait,
false.
there are more charges than women?
That means he did multiple things to
It's
multiple
like,
women.
Jesus, man.
Wait.
Misdemeanor, you
5
said?
charges, 3 misdemeanor counts of false imprisonment, 1 of assault causing great bodily injury, and 1 of dissuading a witness on May.
It sounds like he invited women over and just fought him.
I know.
He's like, I can take 1 on. I need 3 to make this fun for me.
Yeah.
Francis was convicted on all 5 charges. He faced a maximum of 5 years. Did an interview. Francis did an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, calling the jurors mentally retarded and suggesting they should be euthanized.
Oh my
The
god.
lawyer, I would have loved if his lawyer tried to do the "my client is a sterling citizen" defense.
And
You
then
know
he-
they do for like 18-year-olds who get speeding
Yeah,
tickets
and
or
then
even
he-
drunk driving.
And then he comes out with their jury's mentally retarded.
Yeah. It's so funny because like his legal issues are separated by civil, criminal, state, and then federal.
Jesus.
Like, jeez.
That sounds like some
He's got
tax shit.
every layer: state, local, federal, municipal.
Dude, he's doing like racketeering, gambling.
I knew that.
In Reno, Nevada, Francis was indicted by a grand jury for 2 counts of tax evasion. There you go.
Man.
Can I
That's
say?
what we
Can I
call
say
one.
something? When this charges against this man were filed, like, you know, a lot of comedians, like how they idolized Cosby,
Yeah.
and it was such a betrayal for them to watch someone that's how I was with this Francis guy.
Yeah.
When he was charged, I go, no,
Not Joe.
He flew too close to the sun. God damn it.
I said they're all liars, and they're like, the government's the one he's against. That's the plaintiff, and I'm like, they're all liars.
They issued an arrest warrant after he failed to comply with terms of his bankruptcy. Jesus. He pled guilty to misdemeanor counts of filing a false return and bribery, received credit for time served, 2009. He paid $250,000 in restitution to the IRS. Just a little.
I want, like, these are the biopics that need to be made. Like,
I
I
know.
don't fuck Freddie Mercury, fuck Elton John. I want this
Yeah.
guy's biopic. I also want, like, the ShamWow guy's biopic. Like, that would be the best story.
Actually, Billy Mays?
Or no,
ShamWow's a
ShamWow
different
guy. That guy's a maniac.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it? Why? I mean, I know he's hawking ShamWows,
Dude,
but what else?
You flex the ShamWows. You didn't know that? Everyone you get, he's fucked.
Yeah. That's
I
what I
mean-
always say about the MyPillow guy. Like,
Oh,
looks like he
dude, that
fucks the
guy.
pillow.
That's what I did.
That
with
guy who
him.
doesn't fuck the pillow, he cuddles it before giving it to you, and it's just weird. You're like, why do I have this guy's cuddle pillows? It's odd.
That guy does. Yeah, that guy creeps me out.
I hear that guy's crazy though. The ShamWow guy.
He's a Trump guy,
Well, I heard he was
I
arrested,
think.
like at an airport or something like that.
Yeah.
Christian's on research
I
today.
know.
He's like, let's
Sorry,
find
Christian.
it.
Also, we should play a game that we do like to do, which is how far into someone's Wikipedia page does it mention their Me Too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
I love it.
prominent men who,
Yeah. Let's do it.
in many cases,
So we have Louis, we have Harvey, we have Cosby.
that's the game.
we have- yeah.
When does it mention that they were a purveyor? That's a bad word choice. That they committed a
Purveyor sounds like they're like responsibly sourced. Me Too.
farm to table Me Too's. It's like, what?
Wait, what did you say? Oh, wow. In 1982,
Rick,
Lindell,
will you just remove my mouse real quick?
the MyPillow guy, became addicted to cocaine and alcohol and became addicted to crack cocaine in the 1990s. His addictions even stretched through the early years of the MyPillow business. Due to these addictions, he lost his marriage of 20 years, his house, and nearly the MyPillow business. Lindell achieved sobriety through prayer in 2009. That's why he always has that cross on.
Sobriety through prayer.
Yeah, and then he
That's
became a big
gross.
Trump guy. What did you say he did?
So
Some crazy shit?
No,
Well, I guess that was a crack.
That's
you know
the
what's
My
all,
Pillow
but
guy,
he's made a
right?
comeback, man.
I know, it's a huge
I see him in
comeback.
supermarkets
Wait, that's the My Pillow guy.
Yeah.
all the time.
I was talking about the ShamWow guy.
Oh, the ShamWow guy. Sorry.
Yeah, his name is Vince Offer. That can't be his name. Offer. It's in the he has a call to action as his last name. Come on.
Mike, call now.
Come on.
Steve Bogo.
Vince Offer. Oh wow, he's the ShamWow guy and the Slap Chop guy.
Oh yeah, right.
Did he die or is he still alive? Wow, he is still alive.
You know what's interesting?
Anyway, sorry.
This is hilarious to me because you're both
I know.
having a conversation with your own heads.
Dude, in 2000,
You're both going, oh, hey, 2009.
2000, the
You're not even
ShamWow-
saying the detail. You're going, hey, whoa,
I know.
2010.
We're both Wikipediaing the same guy.
in 2000, the ShamWow guy successfully sued Anna Nicole Smith for $4 million. Successfully sued her, claiming that Smith had agreed to be in his movie, but backed out in '96 and refused that appearing in the movie would be detrimental to her career. Hilarious.
You know what is so accurate? Any man of a certain era who had involvement with Anna Nicole Smith, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's where the dirtbags were.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
they're all white collar criminals, or worse, like or heavier, and all coke addled, all coke addicted.
That
Yeah.
means that he's been hawking ShamWows for fun. He has money in the bank. He doesn't
Yeah.
need. Is he on commission? What is he doing these?
Yeah, but who sues Anna Nicole Smith?
Well, it says he successfully sued her for $4 million. So he might have had it in a contract. So he gets the $4 million from Anna Nicole Smith. That's why she went broke and did a bunch of shameful stuff.
You know that movie has like Anna Nicole Smith. It's one of those weird movies that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
funded by an Israeli with too much money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like Mr. T's in it and like Roddy Piper and fucking
Roddy Rod, that
who was
wrestler.
that one dude? The
This is so you're saying it's a type
Anyway.
of movie that prefaced
Joey
the Expendables.
Buttafuoco.
yeah, it's like
Joey Buttafuoco's in it.
Joey Buttafuoco, and I'm trying to think of that one guy. He was like the redheaded guy who used to
Chuck
fight
Norris?
people. No, he was on the radio, and he was on the Partridge Family.
I don't know.
Danny Bonaducci.
Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, that
Wow, I
guy.
was actually gonna say him, but I go like, don't say Danny Bonaducci.
Here we go. He was
I-
arrested February 7th, 2009, in Miami Beach, Florida, on felony charges of battery after an altercation with a 26-year-old prostitute. Offer contended that he struck her prostitute, or he struck her when she bit his tongue and would not let go.
Oh my god.
So he beat the shit out of a prostitute and got arrested. This
All
guy's
these
awesome.
This is all like 2009,
Yeah.
2000 to 2009 salesmen. All like this is what's going on.
So
As soon as they get money, they like.
can we play the game?
Oh yeah.
At what point in a Wikipedia page? I think we should broaden it to say mentions scandal.
Okay.
To maybe not make it me too specific, but like, so for example, Mark Wahlberg beating up, committing a hate crime in like the early or mid 90s,
Yeah.
right? When he beat up that Asian man.
Yeah.
Pretty much because he was Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that I think could fall under this category. Do
Okay.
you want to do that one?
To this day.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
At what point in Mark Wahlberg's you got a Christian?
Yeah.
You're on research. At what point, Christian, or either one of you, at what point do you think it says that crime?
I think that one's like later on.
That
at the
one's
bottom.
later on, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it started. Mark Wahlberg is a white supremacist.
I guarantee you, it's like there is a. It's all the way down into like they have like the little tabs, and one
Yeah.
of them is like
Legal issues.
arrest or illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be under illegal issues or
gonna be under there.
controversy.
There's a thing that exists with Wikipedia pages where at one point the goal, like, oh, you're a successful person, is if you have a Wikipedia page made for you. And then I think the new, like, oh, you're crazy successful, is if your page is locked. Does that make sense?
They lock pages?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
They lock pages. Christian, vouch for me. They do that, don't they?
They lock pages for who?
Like crazy famous people, because everyone knows or is just gonna like, make a joke. Oh, Barack Obama was the band leader of the Fugees or whatever.
They
So
might
they-
have because
They lock prominent people. You didn't know that?
I was gonna
I mean,
say
I don't really-
like
I'm not
Well,
like,
you haven't tried to fuck with so many pages like me.
I was about to say that's not something that I would ever come across.
Oh yeah.
See, I don't know how real this is. This is kind of crazy. And for any listeners, trigger warning in a second. And also, I should clarify, I'm not white.
We're gonna have an oh dear
Wow.
moment.
Yeah,
Sounds
you're about to
like.
have a real
All
oh dear
right.
moment.
And this is what's so interesting is we have never had a.
Wikipedia, oh dear
Did you
moment.
say trigger warning?
Trigger warning. Okay, so
I don't think that's the. Is that what they say at colleges?
yeah, I think so.
Oh, trigger warning.
Yeah, like before anything
That kind of
happens.
sounds thuggish.
I
doesn't it?
know.
Like-
Trigger warning, dog. All right. Early life. This is where it's in. It's not under. There's no legal issue section. This is early life arrest and felony assault conviction. In June 1986, and mind you, this is Wikipedia, so it could just be bullshit.
By the way, is
Mind
it
you-
towards the bottom?
No, this is after his like paragraph of early life saying like Wahlberg was born in fucking Boston, Massachusetts, and all this shit.
Mind you, Wikipedia is very crystalline accurate these days.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Don't trust Wikipedia. That was in 2006.
Right.
But 2019 Wikipedia, fuck off. It's better than the news. It actually is better than the news.
So Mark Wahlberg, here we go, guys. In June 1986, when Wahlberg was about 15 years old.
We didn't even technically guess when it would fall. I would have guessed the 8th paragraph, but it's under early life.
Let's see. You're actually
on the money.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is paragraph 5.
Pretty close.
In June 1986, when Wahlberg was about 15 years old, he and 3 friends chased after 3 black children while yelling, quote, "Kill the nigger, kill the nigger," and then throwing rocks at them. The next day, Wahlberg and others followed a group of school children taking a field trip on a beach, yelled racial epithets at them.
The next day?
Yeah.
Dude, space it out. If you're going to commit hate crimes, let them breathe.
You can't claim that this was a crime of passion when it bleeds into the next day at the beach, the most fucking relaxing place. This guy's angry with racial slurs.
Yelled
Keep going.
racial epithets at them, threw rocks at them, and, quote, summoned other white males who joined in the harassment. In August 1986, civil action was filed against Wahlberg for violating the civil rights of the victims, and the case was settled next month. In April 1988, 2 years later, Wahlberg approached a middle-aged Vietnamese man named Tan Lam on the street and, using a large wooden stick, struck him in the head until he was knocked unconscious while calling him a Vietnam fucking shit. That same day, Wahlberg also attacked a second Vietnamese man named Johnny Trin, punching him in the eye without provocation. According to court documents regarding these crimes, when Wahlberg was arrested later that night and returned to the scene of the first assault, he stated to police officers, quote, "You don't have to let him identify me. I'll let you know that's the motherfucker whose head I split open." Investigators also noted that Wahlberg, quote, made numerous unsolicited racial statements about gooks and slant-eyed gooks. Jesus Christ, Mark.
So this is what's so fascinating to me is he became famous not long after this.
I know.
For the record, it wasn't like that was in 86
wait a
and he
second.
blew up in 2012 and like, oh,
But he blew up in like 93, right?
in the early
Did his
90s.
brother make it first?
His brother made it bigger.
The thing
New
is,
Kids on the Block.
Yeah, the thing is with like, it's so interesting the level of scrutiny and also level of good person standard people are held, like celebrities are held to, because there will be tweets that are 9 years old that you don't get to do a fun showbiz thing for like really successful people because of that.
That's funny.
This guy has rap sheet literal hate crimes. Not even like I drunkenly fought a guy at a bar. Literally said the word.
Yeah, he said a lot of words.
That's
Just like that's like literally what a racist person would do. He had two.
Say slurs.
So one of them, he chases little black kids and he calling them the N-word. And then the next day, he does it again and then gathers more people. So this is like a lynch mob. So he's And then later on, he beats the fuck out of a Vietnamese guy and then finds another Vietnamese guy to beat the shit out of that one. Then he comes back to the first one and then the cops are. He's like, yeah, I did it. Like that's the pattern of someone who's.
Yeah.
That's also such a Boston attitude to be like, yeah, I fucking did it. And you know what his defense should have been? That Vietnamese man was trying to cause 9/11. So,
in August 1992, a then 21-year-old Wahlberg fractured the jaw of a neighbor in an unprovoked attack. Court documents state that in 1992, Wahlberg, without provocation or cause, viciously and repeatedly kicked a man named Robert D. Crehan in the face and jaw, while another man named Derek McCall held Crehan down on the ground. Like, fuck, dude.
You know what would make for great TV? It wouldn't be really fair, but it would make for great TV, is just on one of the late night shows. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good. And then he just goes, in 1986, Mark Wahlberg just starts reading the sheet, the court document. In 1986, he yelled, kill the...
And then Mark Wahlberg would attack another person and get arrested again.
Yeah.
Man, what a scumbag.
Yeah. Kristen Atwood, one of the black children attacked by Wahlberg, spoke out against the pardon in 2015, saying, a racist will always be a racist. Judith Beals, the former Massachusetts... Well, that's actually not that fair, but... I get her point. Judith
You know
Biel
what? Yeah, just for that comment, that's just flipping and Aaron. I'm on his side.
Well, it's not true of everybody, but when a motherfucker chases black kids
No.
and then beats the shit, blinds a Vietnamese guy, I don't know. Maybe she's got a point.
So yeah,
So Mark Wahlberg, man, is getting scot free. Meanwhile,
I don't know why I thought it was
poor
gonna
Cosby.
be.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's
man.
well, that's like the worst take of all time.
I know.
But that's why, like, I mentioned and Reagan's shooter is still free. There is.
We talked about this briefly.
That's the framework of the worst take ever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
A conservative, that would be their worst take ever. Jussie Smollett walks free, or maybe I don't know. But the Reagan shooter walks free.
Well, the worst take though is the one that we talked about briefly last week. Was Cosby tried to buy NBC?
Yeah, it's so dumb.
And I think that's the funniest thing, because that would literally be like if you put your car for sale and a guy tried to buy your car and you just didn't want him to own your car, and instead of just saying no, instead you convinced 56 women to lie about you raping them just to get him arrested. Like, just what do you mean he tried to buy NBC? Just say no if you don't want him to buy it.
I mean, you
that
didn't
makes no sense. There's no
no.
hostile takeover. You can't force someone to sell you something. It's the dumbest conspiracy
No.
I've ever heard in
I
my
disagree.
entire life.
You did not see how offensively low the offer he made NBC was. They go, oh,
This is an insult.
This is such an insult.
Are you trying to buy us with the royalties we
That-
pay you from the Cosby Show?
This is such-
no. We're gonna need more than that, buddy.
You know what? Fuck that. Call up Heather.
You know what Cosby should have
Call
done?
up Heather and 55 other women.
He should have had this whole show try and buy NBC, like all the other actors and actresses, because his money alone wasn't enough. But you get an extra.
Get the dude from
Probably not that
Trader
much
Joe's.
more. Yeah. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
How far into Bill Cosby's Wikipedia page do you think they mentioned?
First
I'd say
sentence.
First paragraph.
First sentence.
I
Bill
think
Cosby.
the first one. I think the first sentence is like Bill Cosby is an American comedian. Blah 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 blah. Cosby Show. Period.
I think the
in
first
2016,
I think
sexual
the first-
assault. Second sentence.
All right, you ready? I think the first sentence. Bill Cosby is still an American. Still an American icon, no
And
matter what happens.
Whitmer says second.
Second sentence.
Oh wait, you both say second sentence?
No, I
Or
said
He said
first
first.
Okay. First sentence. William Henry Cosby Jr. is an American stand-up comedian, actor, musician, and author. End of sentence. He held an active career for over 6 decades
There it
before
is.
being convicted of sex
Yeah!
offenses in 2018.
I love
Ring the
this
bell.
game. What do I win?
You get to ring the bell.
Yeah. That's Cosby.
It makes it. You know what the fucked up thing is? Not to sound like they're slandering his good name, but when you call him William Harvey Cosby, what do they call him?
Henry Cosby.
William
whatever.
Henry
But
Cosby.
they do that for everybody.
Yeah, but it
It's
makes him sound like a serial killer. Like, you those are the 3 names. Come on, what is
know-
Charlie Sheen's? Charlie Sheen's
Oh my God.
doesn't say Charlie Joseph Smith, whatever the fuck his name. It just says Charlie Sheen fucked a bunch of whores.
Yeah.
I would say Charlie Sheen is at the end of the first paragraph.
But
end of the
isn't
first
Charlie
paragraph.
Sheen's his isn't really a scandal? It's just
Yeah, it is. He had
it's
HIV
just
and he was
yeah.
fucking hookers.
It's a lot.
Oh, I didn't
He
know
did a
that.
lot. People forget about the Tiger Blood era. That was
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything that month or year that was.
That was when I was first starting stand-up, and I remember writing jokes about
Was
it.
that fun for him? That must have been fun. The fucking
I
hookers.
mean, it was
seemed
a-
crazy, but
I mean, it was entertaining as fuck.
it was like it was pretty intense. And the Tiger Blood, he was just hilarious.
He was really funny.
How much money?
He was
do you
actually
have
like
to,
Trump before Trump,
A little bit.
right?
A little
Just
bit.
saying, like he was having an argument to where he wasn't debating an issue as much as he was just saying something crazy. So if you say, "Hey Charlie, why are you doing this?" He's like, "You suck, and I have tiger blood." It wasn't like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It wasn't a retort, and that's what Trump does. Trump doesn't retort; he just says something outlandish.
Yeah, that's a good one though. Charlie Sheen
Hot
was
take,
the OG
baby.
Trump.
You know what's crazy though? It's like Robert Downey Jr. was like Charlie Sheen before Charlie Sheen.
Can I? Yeah.
So it almost like imagine if Charlie Sheen became fucking Batman and
Yeah,
you know
which
it got
Charlie
like
Sheen got it
millions and
together
millions of dollars.
basically.
All right, so I'm sorry. Do you want to say?
I did want to say that, like, how much money do you have to get paid to fuck a guy that you know has HIV? There was a very well-known thing, right? Like even in the media that Charlie Sheen had HIV.
No. This is before he had HIV. But part of it was he had HIV, and the reason why he was going crazy was because a lot of people were extorting him, threatening to take the story forward. Meanwhile, Charlie Sheen was just smoking crack and fucking bitches. While, like, I think what happened, I'm not sure. I think what happened was he got diagnosed with it and he went off the rails. Like, that's what made him go crazy.
Oh, that makes sense. But when did he get diagnosed? Anyway, I guess we'll read up about this. So when do you think they mention his
I would say
craziness?
the end of the first paragraph.
End of the first paragraph, Brett?
It's one of those ones where it's its own subsection under like controversy.
You're both incorrect.
Fuck this game.
It's actually the whole third paragraph.
All right.
Before you get to any of the early life acting careers.
Yeah, I guess you have to put in the fucking Martin Sheen and his brother connection.
2.5 Men. He did a lot. Spin City.
Yeah, Spin City was big.
2.5 Men. Anger Management.
He also did something
He's
really
in
hard.
Anger Management?
No, not the movie, the show. He also did something. He had to replace one of the most beloved
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, in Spin City.
He did a good job too.
He did a really good job replacing Michael J. Fox. That's a really hard thing to do, especially in a sitcom platform.
In 2010, Sheen was the highest paid actor on television and earned $1.8 million per episode.
Yeah.
Per episode of 2.5 Men.
Yeah, he was crushing it with 2.5 Men.
And then you know what's crazy about that? That was 24 episode seasons.
I know.
Just to be clear, it wasn't like Thrones or Prestige TV where it was 6 to 8 episods.
Yeah.
That's an insane.
I just respect him too because he went off the rails and he was bragging about smoking crack. He's like, I was smoking rocks that were bigger than you could find them in your driveway, and it's like, well, Jesus, dude, like what are you talking about?
It's crazy though because he went on like Entertainment Tonight and did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. He just didn't give a fuck.
It's kind of awesome. Like,
it's really awesome.
It's just like, yeah, this is what I'm like. I'm sure there's people that are living like him in Hollywood. He's just the only one that actually said it, and like everybody else is like, "Oh my god, how could?"
Yeah.
Like people know what's going on.
You're right. There's something you gotta commend about a man who is worth all the money in the world, but still smokes crack. Like, isn't that good down home?
Do
like,
a fucking designer drug. What are you doing smoking crack, dude?
No. You want your celebrities to still drink Folgers. So, you know.
I love how crack is the Folgers of drugs.
It kind of is.
It's more like the Mountain Dew Code Red of drugs.
If you had to get crack, the serious question, how quickly do you think you get crack? Like right now, let's say end a podcast. Someone's like, if you can get crack in the next 90 minutes, I will give you
probably
$150,000.
I couldn't do it. Where did you go?
I have my
here?
start. I know
around here.
I don't know.
No, I was about to say this is Dumbo.
In 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
You'd
is
have
a long time.
You'd have to take a cab to like Brownsville or East New York.
Yeah, you could probably get crack.
But even then, I'm walking around East New York going, "Hey, do you have any crack?" They're gonna be like,
crack.
"Nah, not that guy. That
Anybody
guy's a
got
narc.
crack?
That guy's a cop."
I know
cocaine?
who I go to. My fucking neighbors, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's true.
They actually might.
Yeah, crack's also like I feel like that's like a.
It's
like
really dark.
It's dude. Yeah,
It's really dark.
My brother listens to this podcast, by the way. I have two things to say about my brother, Chris. One of them, he recommended another terrible Puddle of Mud song that I completely forgot. Dude, it's worse than She Fucking Hates Me. It's that song, she loves the way you smack my ass. She loves the dirty things
oh my
you
God,
do.
I remember this.
Dude, it's the worst song ever. It's fucking terrible. Anyway, shout out to Chris. He also told me to start growing up. So he was out with some friends, and his friend of his, he kind of knew this guy from work, and this guy was basically like, "Hey, let's go up to Charleston to a party." We lived in the South, and he's like, "Sure." And they drive up, and they end up at this house, and it's clearly a crack den.
Yeah.
And my brother's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Look, I'm just gonna go inside. I'll be right back, and then we'll go to the party." And Chris is like, "Okay." And he walks in. And like after like a half hour or something, and he walks into his room, and his friend is getting blown while smoking crack. So my brother just like runs and grabs the keys out of his pocket and just darts.
Oh my god!
And gets in his car and fucking bolts.
Grabs
and just
the
leaves
keys
the guy
from
there.
whose pocket?
So the guy drove. So so this is, I think partly was my brother Chris was drinking or something, so he didn't want to drive, and his friend was like, "Oh, I'm good to drive." So since that happened, he was basically like, "I'm driving to a crack den." Yeah,
we gotta make a stop.
yeah. So he
It's
fucking
so funny to say
bolted,
I'm
dude.
good to drive, like you're the responsible one, and then go to fucking crack house.
Yeah, man.
And just leave your buddy in the car?
Oh yeah, because he was clearly a piece of shit person who was just trying to smoke crack and get his dick sucked by.
That
a
is
hooker.
one defense. Let's say your brother had gotten pulled over driving away, instantly absolved by the police.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
I drove away. A little buzzed officer.
Yeah,
my
you
friend
won't believe
drove
what.
to-
By the way, you want an in on a big arrest?
Yeah.
I know a house, bro.
I got the
You can
skinny.
get 50 people tonight.
And you might be
Yeah.
able to get your dick sucked. So.
Yeah, man. I just remember Chris telling me this story because I just like he was telling me, I was just like, and now you said crack is so dark.
Yeah.
I would literally I was like a little sick to my stomach that this happened to my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've never even seen crack. It's just such a dark drug.
No, I never. Yeah.
I remember I gave a kid a ride home. Wasn't even a kid. He was like fucking 30 when I was like 20 or something like that. So I had this was back when I was in a band. So I was the one who had the van. So I would drive it like my
Thought you were
car.
gonna
That
say
was
I
my
was-
car.
Yeah.
Right. So I gave him a ride home, and this was like a dude. He was the busser or whatever, like one of the bussers or the food runners. That's what it was at the restaurant I worked at. And so he asked me for a ride home, and everybody he was just like a weird, like kind of gangly kind of dude anyway. But he's a nice enough guy.
Proceed with caution. But yeah.
But anyway, so he's like, oh hey, can we drive over here? I'm like, oh, is this your house? He's like, yeah, it's my house. So I'm driving this big ass van down this like dark street in Florida, and then we get there. He's like, hey, stop. And all of a sudden, like 40 dudes from the neighborhood just surround my van.
What the
and they're
fuck?
like, what do you want? And he's like, they do some deal out, he puts his hand out of the window, the car window, and then like the guy gives him something, and then that exchange is made, and then everybody's like, get the fuck out of here, go. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what's happening. So then this dude Ramsey was like, go. So I like drove
Wait,
away.
his name's Ramsey? What? This is such a whimsical, oh, it's me, Ramsey. I'm going to go buy some crack cocaine. Would you like some crack cocaine? It's me, Ramsey. I always smoke crack cocaine. I know where to get it, too. It's where the darkies live.
It is Ramsey.
Yeah,
Jesus
so we
Christ.
drove away, and then he actually looks at what he got. He's like, man, this fucking wasn't even enough.
That is not
And
a
it was the
return
first time I
trip.
saw crack. It was like
Yeah.
just like a little thing. And
Hey,
I was like, what the
Christian,
fuck?
they forgot our fries.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, we're not going to return. You,
Excuse me.
Whatever yes. Excuse me, 40 guys who descended upon the van. They can give you whatever they want. They have 40 guys. That's enough. That's a show of force. You're just at their mercy.
Yeah, why do they need 40?
So you can buy the most expensive Smarties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do, complain?
Yeah.
That must be so. Because I have a feeling I bet a lot of those guys are, make no mistake, tough fucking dudes.
Yeah.
But I bet some of them are just like, it's so fun to scare these
Yeah.
people. It would be kind of fun
Yeah.
in a dark way to
Yeah.
scare the bejesus out of the person.
Dude.
But
You ever see Harold and Kumar? The third one where the black guys scare the shit out of them when buying a Christmas tree. Just go. It's homework. Go see it. It's hilarious.
no more Chris Farley
Yeah,
showing.
exactly. That's
you
why I
can't,
stopped.
You can't. Yeah, good stop. That's a good stop.
You just go home and watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
They surrounded my van like a fucking ice cream
Dude, that's
truck
scary
in
as
summer.
fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It was crazy.
That is crazy. I have a, you know of the announcement. Should I get it? This is a big deal. Should
What's oh yeah, we didn't talk about it last time, did we?
didn't really, well.
Oh, but we didn't get it on camera, of course.
So they know of this. Our
Yeah.
listeners, I
Yes.
don't know if all of them do,
Yeah.
but
We got
I'm
big news
glad
here. Oh dear.
We have. Well, this is huge
Yeah.
news. This is actually
just in time for the video component.
Yes.
This is actually, and what I'm holding behind my back, and people who are going to be watching a video can see, and listeners, you can just picture me holding something behind my back. What I'm holding behind my back is a milestone for the podcasting
World, really? Yes.
Yeah,
This-
Joe Rogan doesn't have this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm holding right now. They can see it in the camera. Wait, go ahead and show them to the camera a little
Yeah.
closer. That is the first ever vinyl pressing of a podcast in the history of podcasting. You're
Yes.
damn right. We printed the first episode of our podcast on vinyl. No, check it out.
It's an actual real vinyl.
It's a real
Look at
vinyl.
that.
Check
Side
it
A.
out. Side A, that's that you can see. It's a photo of me, and then side B is a photo of Christian right there. And yeah,
okay.
so there's the two sides of it.
Okay, cool.
And,
I mean, I was somehow. It's fine. I mean, not a big deal.
No,
guess.
no, it wasn't like.
I mean, there's two sides, but I mean, it's okay. It's
No,
fine.
I don't
There's
mean
three
it-
of us. There's two sides. I mean, yeah, okay.
what was it? I mean, I
I
could.
get the
lead with
predicament
the-
you were in. I mean,
if we make like a side C, like
Yeah.
of outtakes or something,
Yeah.
or like a bonus re-release, we could probably get you on it. But I don't know. There's only. I mean, what would you have done if you were me?
I mean, you want to lead with what sells.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like side A,
Yeah.
this has your singles on it. Side B, great B sides, and you know, side C is rarities and.
It's like a USB download or whatever. It's like just a.
Anyway, guys, this is retailing on BretRaybould.com.
This is true. This is actually retailing on my website, BretRaybould.com. It's for sale for what I thought is a fair price because you're like, what is
How
this
much
worth?
does history cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting
And
it.
also, there's only one in the whole world.
Yes.
He's holding it right here. So
Yeah.
there's one of these, and there's also one Mona Lisa that's real. All
Yeah.
the rest are fake.
Right.
So how much is the Mona Lisa worth? Like millions?
Millions.
So $5,000 is
much.
pretty easy. That's actually pretty bargain.
And that's
a
how
bargain.
much
That's
it's
pretty
for
cheap.
sale for. This is for sale for $5,000.
And for an extra grand, we'll autograph the front.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So for $6,000, you can have all of our autographs as well.
Well, I was just thinking $1,000 per autograph.
Yes.
All right,
So-
$8,000.
$8,000 you can get. Well, let's do me and Christian since we're on the vinyl. Each $1,000. Yours is $500.
Yeah. That's fair.
No, I don't. I mean, let me check if you're on it again.
Yeah, I don't
Christian,
see that.
and there's-
It's weird. It peeled off there.
Oh,
That's,
no.
It's almost like that's not shoddy work. Interesting.
So if you play
That-
this, it's our first episode of our podcast.
That
man.
album cover, like the cover, the quality of it is actually very nice.
Thank
Like,
you,
it's
yeah.
actually-
The "Go Fuck Yourself" on the back is easily my favorite.
Well,
Yeah, with barbed
because
wire.
that's my
I don't
side
know
C on the back.
people process what is on the vinyl. So it's "Oh Dear," and then at the top it has this is uncut. Like I didn't
Yeah.
edit it down.
That's true.
So it's uncensored.
Unlike the real podcast.
If you want to get it closer to the camera,
Yeah.
a big rig. It's uncut, uncensored, and uncircumcised.
Yeah.
And there's a caution tape. What are we warning them about? Caution, laughs incoming.
Hold it up.
And
there
then,
it is.
it's on the bottom. You can see it's the gang like you've never heard them before. And then in parentheses, don't tell grandma. It just, I figure what match, and there's a parental advisory.
You can tell my grandma though; she loves the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Judy Hickok.
But, I mean, this is like, I just thought like what matched our tone. Like we're this type of dudes. So we're this type of guys.
Yeah,
we're like,
we
and the
give
back.
no fucks and take no prisoners.
Well, the back says, I did want to censor it just in case a family wanted to buy it, but
Yeah.
it does say,
It's a great holiday
it
gift.
says "Go Frock Yourself."
no, it goes frick yourself.
Oh,
But it's bleeped out just for,
It looks like
You
an
know.
O,
yeah.
but yeah.
I would love
With,
it. I would love it if Martin Shkreli bought that. Like the farmer bro guy just actually bought it.
I think there's a market for this piece of work.
I think so too.
And I think the way we need to be as a podcast is we need to be a boutique outlet for hyper successful wealthy people. I
Yeah.
don't want a Patreon account and like, $1 from even 100,000 people. Fuck that. I want $100,000 from one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, what's easier? I mean, think about it. We either have to convince one guy or like 100,000 people. One guy.
There's a chance someone out there has so much money. They're like, this is I'll spend $5,000 on this.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to spend $7,000 for me and Christian's autographs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I could see happening.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Fair. All right. Yeah. I mean, my autograph's worth, the same as yours. But okay, that's
No,
fair.
but yours is
No, yours is great.
I mean, it's at least.
it's $500. It's only
I mean,
$500. Like I didn't set the market rate. I just
Right.
kind of responded to that.
I mean, you just kind of made it up.
no,
I mean, you just made it up.
No, I didn't set the price. I went to jdpowers.com and Associates.
All right, listen up, oh dear fans. I'm going to press my own vinyl. It's going to be of episode 2, though, which is the funnier episode. You know, sometimes your first episode's great, your second episode's better. You know what I mean? And it's just going to have my face on it, and I'm selling this for, guess what? I'm going to undercut them $4,000.
It kind of breaks my heart that you're saying this because I was going to split the profits with you guys equally.
I don't think so.
So, like, what's happening right now is I think I'm Freddie Mercury. You're Brian May.
Brian May. And then you're all the other guys.
So, like, it's sick of us to be willing to... The Queen split every profit. Yeah. Everyone gets 20%. I think there was 5 members, and they said 20%. Even though Freddie Mercury and Brian May
were, like...
kind of so I don't know why you're trying to break up a good thing by I'm not the antagonist. I want to give you money.
Yeah.
My hands are tied that your autograph's only worth $500. Like there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. Well, I'm the Sting of this group. You guys are the police. No one knows who they are. No one cares who they are. Sting. Name one other member of the police.
Well, first off, the police, huge compliment because we love our police just in general.
Copeland? Stuart Copeland?
That's a lie. Is that Ramsey's friend?
Jimmy Stuart Copeland. Jimmy Iovine is a member of the police.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was. Look it up.
Jimmy Iovine. Isn't that the guy who fucking started Dr. Dre?
Before he did that, he was in the police.
He was not in the police. He was a producer. He produced fucking Bruce Springsteen albums.
Tim Chumley was in the police.
The guy from fucking Pawn Stars. Chumley?
The Police were a British rock band formed in London in 1977. For most of their history, the band consisted of Sting, Andy Summers, and Stuart Copeland.
So both of you're the other two guys. Christian could be Stuart Copeland because you named him. You're the other guy. I'm Sting.
No, you're not Sting.
Yeah.
No, there's no way you're Sting.
Listen, I read the ads. I set up the board. I mean, I'm just like, I'm the heartbeat of this podcast.
It's like the roadie of Sting.
I set up the equipment. I find the girls who blow you afterwards. Okay, I go get your groceries. I do your laundry. You couldn't do this without me. Those women wouldn't be around to blow you if it wasn't for me telling them that you could blow them.
We do need new podcast duties. I think Christian and I are morale / entertainment. Mm-hmm. Okay. But I do think we need a workhorse. I have dishes that could be done. And I would love, because you're doing a good job on this, I would love if you would come over and do my dishes.
Yeah.
I have my feet sometimes get sore at night. Yeah. I don't know if you have that problem.
I mean, I got some old comics you could sort if you want to do that.
Comics to sort?
That might be kind of lame. Don't do that.
That might be too degrading.
Yeah, that's really degrading.
Give Brett a foot massage, but don't do that.
I didn't say foot massage. I just said. You're the one who said it.
What were you insinuating?
No, if you want to do it. I mean, you thought of it. Whit and I were having this. So kind of joke. I was doing this kind of joke bit, but if it worked out, I'm so happy. To Whitmer yesterday, my girlfriend and I were in Prospect Park, and Whitmer lives kind of close to Prospect Park. So I was like, I want to hang out with my friend, but I was also really hungry. So I was basically texting him first I led with dude, we're in Prospect Park. Would love if you could come say hi. And then I was like, side note, it'd be awesome. You're the hoagie king. Wouldn't it be sick if you just brought hoagies and we all ate hoagies together? And there's part of it's all right, he's not gonna do this, but maybe there's a world in which
there's a world where he's let me get in on the joke and actually bring a sandwich
and bring hoagies, and he's what's up, the Hoagie King's here, and I'm good to see you, Whit, and I'm so happy that you brought hoagies.
Yeah, the real weakness would be I enjoy cooking for people, so
I know
that would be where you got me, but I could tell instantly that you were
Well, I gave you another chance. I said after we were done, it was 7 p.m. or so, 7:30. It's getting kind of dark. I said my girlfriend and I can come over for dinner that you could make us. I gave you that chance.
I went and got groceries. I literally made dinner.
Which is perfect.
I'm sitting in my living room in my underwear, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, we can come over for dinner." Oh, you just finished dinner? That's fine. So the dishes are still out.
Well, that's what. Yeah, you made
the kitchen's dirty. I mean, you can dirty more. It's not a big deal.
It was annoying because you said you couldn't not even help, but just be the sole proprietor of my dinner. But you had the dishes out. You had already done the recipe, so you already like worked it out, and now you have a perfect version, and that's great for your cooking.
But I mean, for me and my fiance,
Side C. You see that? That is why you're side C, because you didn't cook us dinner. Side C. You could have been side B. Sorry.
I think I'm the quarterback of this group.
You're huge. No.
Yeah, dude. I'm the quarterback. I'm the Jared Lorenzo.
What? Who is
I don't even know who
that?
that is.
You guys would love it.
You might as well have
It's
just
the
said
best
Stuart
reference ever.
Copeland.
Jared Lorenzo was this 400-pound quarterback named the Hefty Lefty.
No
Who
way.
No bullshit. This is the best thing ever. So this guy was really big. He played for Kentucky, and he made it to the NFL miraculously. He was Eli Manning's backup for a number of years.
No
Just this
way.
huge guy. He was huge.
Was he actually? He was like 300 pounds.
Yeah, he was huge. He was like 300 pounds. And what happened was after he left the NFL, he like bought an arena football team and then was the quarterback of it. And he kept getting fatter. So by the time
that's
it was
awesome.
arena football, he was like 400 pounds.
Oh my god.
And he was really good still. Like, you have to watch this guy. He was the best.
This guy is your ultimate hero, though.
Yeah, man.
You know, there's stories that inspire people of a one-armed man who played pitcher in the major leagues. Yours is just a fucking fat motherfucker who made it to. He was a QB.
Yeah.
Which is such a precision position.
I
Yeah.
know, yeah.
It's the story of a guy who changed the game so he could still be fat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, fuck it, I'll buy the team.
That's so sad to me because that's how good he was.
I know.
He actually was born with like probably Peyton Manning level genetic gifts.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about it is, so in the NFL, he just kind of looked like an offensive lineman. But everybody in the NFL is big, so he didn't really stick out until you realized he played quarterback, and if he was standing next to somebody smaller. But in arena football, he was like it was like he was playing Little League. He was comically large because he kept getting bigger. So he was probably 400 pounds, and he's playing with these people, and it's just slinging it, man. Lefty, southpaw, just touchdowns.
That is a man who went to 0 workouts in his life.
Yeah.
He was a part of sports teams professionally so.
And he was like, I'm not going to them either.
No, you can sign me. And they're like,
Yeah.
but it worked on them because they're like, he's like stonewalling us.
He's got a lot of confidence.
You got to buy your own football team to play on. That's some fucking confidence. It's like, oh, no one's going to give me a job. Well, guess what? I'm going to buy my own team and start.
I love why are team owners not doing that? Mark Cuban should say, you know what? No,
what? Give me a jersey.
I'm 14th on the lineup. I'm not going to be arrogant and be like, you got to start me. He could say that.
Yeah, he could.
I'll play garbage minutes, but I'm on the team.
Yeah. I know I'm 58 and I wouldn't play in my YMCA gym, but I'm on the Lakers.
Are you excited about the XFL coming back?
I was actually wanted to talk to you about it because the XFL. So the Steelers, we signed the best player of the XFL when it happened. His name was Tommy Maddox.
Maddox, yeah, he won their Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the MVP. It was the Los Angeles.
Just
team.
real quick, you almost said the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
Such a gap of achievement between winning this Super Bowl and the XFL Super Bowl.
Well, do you remember how they started games?
What did they call it, by the way?
Scramble, the big game, I think, or the big one, or
That's
something
like
that.
That's not even them trying.
I know.
The big one.
And
That's
that was when I wasn't even owned by Disney. They could
might
have
have
called
just
it the
been the
fucking
championship.
bitches getting blown ball. Like,
It might have just been called the championship game.
I literally could have seen the name of the XFL championship game being like parentheses period parentheses other parentheses period other parentheses. So it just looks like boobs. That's how trashy that league
It
was.
was trashy. It was so 2001.
yeah,
It was like the cheerleaders were like advertised as strippers.
yeah.
And they're like, they're gonna be fucking kissing and shit. Like that was their whole marketing shit.
Oh my god! Oh, the XFL in 2019 is so not the XFL.
But what were you gonna say about them, Whit?
Yeah, sorry. Wait.
He basically like it's coming back, but it's like kind of professional. So, do you guys know who Andrew Luck is?
I heard
Of
the
course,
name.
the
Yeah.
Andrew Luck
quarterback.
is like a Colts quarterback, really good quarterback.
He's
but
like top 12 in the league.
Yeah, I'd say top 6. But
Okay, yeah.
fair. But his dad, Oliver Luck, was a quarterback in the NFL. His dad is the commissioner of the XFL. So it's not like
It's not a joke.
yeah, this is going to be a legit spring football that's going to legitimately be it has money behind it, so it's not like what just happened. We just had a football league that started in the spring and collapsed midway through the season.
Charlie Ebersol's league.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy because he wanted to restart the XFL, but he went to Vince McMahon and was like, "Hey, can I have the rights to the XFL?" Because his dad, Dick Ebersol, was the one who helped Vince do it in the first place. So then Vince goes, "No, I'll just do the XFL myself if you think it's such a good idea." And just started himself.
It's kind of genius.
I know.
The funny thing is he sold.
Rick, will you move the laptop just for 2 seconds? That's the kind of like, that's like idiot-ish, but it's simple genius.
Yeah.
To just go, all right, then I'll fuck it.
If there's interest, then fuck it, I'll bring it back.
Because he already showed him all the stats. Like the guy already showed him all the Excel spreadsheets.
Well, he made a huge mistake because the league was struggling and it needed a financial, punch. They needed some money, so they contacted this guy who wanted to be an investor.
Real quick, which league?
The one that
already folded.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was called the Alliance Football League. It was a terrible name. And basically, this rich guy who owns I think the Carolina Hurricanes or something like that, decided to fund it, give him some money. But the only reason why he funded the money is because they had this app, this gambling app, and he just wanted to own the app. So he had no interest in this league surviving. So he literally just bought the app and was like, "Fuck you," and just abandoned him on all the rest of the shit.
Well, the app is probably a great idea.
But the WWE doesn't need shit like that. And WWE is powerful enough. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting, and they can get some. I mean, what if Kaepernick plays? I mean, they could get a big name like that.
So that's like,
it would be fun to watch.
They're looking for him.
That is like, well, that's their star, and that's like their chance. Because you hear XFL and you just think like, it's a joke. But the thing is that I'm going to miss about the XFL is it's not the same. It's going to be like the NFL, but just different color jerseys.
It's a different time of year.
And different time of year. Don't you think? Like, because the XFL was hilariously cartoonish in that.
But that's the thing. It's going to be more legit now. I mean, I feel like
but that's what was do we need more football? We have college and NFL.
Yeah, but you don't realize how popular football is.
I mean,
and also how big. There's a lot of players who are in the NFL who are actually still really good. I mean, Johnny Manziel, Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, well, that's just how sports
are. But if the league is competitive and people can gamble on it or play fantasy, it'll be big.
Tons of money
so the only way they're going to beat the NFL is if they have
beating the NFL is it's basically it's like Sweden trying to beat America. Yeah. It's just like
I meant
NFL's huge.
Yeah, I didn't mean But how fucking crazy it would be if in 1 year the XFL had greater ratings than the NFL.
Well, they're appealing to they're doing kind of Trump stuff. They're like, everybody has to stand for the anthem. You're not allowed to kneel.
Yeah.
Like they're really going to play to the people who
love football.
Evidently stopped watching the NFL because of the kneeling, which I don't know if that's a lot of people, actually.
That's gonna be a rule.
Yeah.
They should institute a rule that during the game at 4 random times the anthem will come on and you have to stop. It could be the biggest play of the game. 8 seconds left. Yeah, and then to prove how you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
To prove you're a fucking patriot. Well, I kind of love. I'll be honest. As a piece of entertainment, I kind of love that they're going to lean in to what you're saying.
Yeah.
As a piece of entertainment that I won't ingest, but will be part of the biosphere culturally, and will make so many people mad.
Yeah.
The new XFL will not utilize the same sports entertainment gimmicks as the original, instead focusing on adjusting rules to increase the speed of play.
And also, it has fucking Disney money behind
it was announced that the XFL is partnered with
ESPN.
Fox and Disney to
so
air XFL
this is where
games.
I have a weird... if that's true that they're going to try and culturally be... I don't know how heavy they're going to actually say it. Like, players got to stand for the anthem no matter what.
Yeah.
If they're actually going to lean into that contingency of like fans, but it's Disney and ESPN, like aren't they? Those are like
those people.
I don't know, those are
listen, they put Meghan McCain on The View for a reason. It's more like they get ratings. I mean,
really, what it is just like there could be a market for this. We're gonna fucking do it.
Exactly. And ESPN, by the way, gets raped by the NFL every single year because ESPN has Monday Night Football, which used to be like the biggest primetime game, but the emergence of Sunday Night Football that's on NBC, and they flex the schedule. So at the beginning of the season, you have to pick all the 17 Monday Night Football games.
And you kind of can't predict who's going to be
exactly.
great. Like
injuries.
For example, the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes was probably the biggest star of the NFL this year.
Or it's like
you kind of don't see
It's like
that.
when Tom Brady tore his ACL week 1 of the season, like 10 years ago, whatever. It's like you can't predict things like that. So teams that are projected to be good could suck. You have no idea.
Right.
So when you have to pick the games early like that, there's no guarantee. So there's a lot of shitty Monday Night Football games. Sunday Night Football, on the other hand, has the flex where towards the end of the year, they'll flex out bad teams and put in better teams for the matchups. So, like, ESPN is sitting there with Monday Night Football. They paid a fortune for it, and they're getting dicked every... So, like, they probably have incentive to fucking go in with the XFL and say, fuck you to the NFL.
Yeah.
Didn't they say there was something where they were going to be like, if you have a criminal record, you can't play? I know that was like in
I have no idea
the
about
original
that,
Vince
but-
McMahon press conference.
That is so like fake moralistic.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, like, do steroids.
Yeah.
It's like...
The hilarious thing about because I watched the press conference they did live because Vince McMahon actually did it live, and the hilarious thing was he took questions on the internet, and it was like you could see he's so
doesn't know.
does not have the patience for this shit.
Really?
All these people are like questions like somebody asked, "Did you consult your wife in doing this?" And he's like. Like, no, I didn't.
But he's also in character, so he has to kind of...
He's not a Gary. He's just a cranky old man.
I kind of think he's no longer in character.
I don't think so
he's
either.
He's like Dice. He just became that.
Yeah, a little bit.
You
yeah.
would be able to talk better about this than me for sure.
Yeah, he's been a crazy guy. I think there's a level of like decorum he has, but he's an insane guy. Actually,
Yeah, oh, for sure.
What other hyper, like, I don't know, conservative opinions will they like institute? If they're going to institute that you got
Right.
Well, there's a couple other things. So it's not just about that. It's also they're going to change the rules to try to make it more of like high scoring, faster. Like, so it's going to be like
they're going to just fuck with everyone. They're going to hire Bill
yeah.
O'Reilly as the commentator, and like Alex Jones is the ref.
well, you know, like in the NFL, there's all these like
false flag.
There's all these
false flag on the play.
There's the joke. It's a false flag.
that ref threw the flag, but he did it for ulterior motives.
What a weird connecting point.
The NFL has all the controversies with the headshots and heads hit contact. So they've taken a lot of the physicality out of the game to try to make it safer. I feel like the XFL can just lean into the other way and maybe try not to be trashy. Because I feel like the first season of the XFL in the year 2000, like
Try not to be trashy?
The halftime show was like, watch
luck.
Chris Benoit slap his wife around, and
God
then
damn
we
it.
know what happened later on with
Yeah.
that. But that's a slap, you know.
Was that a halftime? What?
Chris Benoit? He killed his wife
Chris
and
Benoit was
kids.
a wrestler.
and then
No,
killed
I know,
himself.
but was there a halftime show where it was like him and her
No,
wrestling?
it was a joke.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought. Hold on. This is how trashy the XFL was. Is I could see a halftime show where it's like husband versus wife, but the way that they script the wrestling match is that he just beats the shit out of her via wrestling moves.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like
Yeah.
So that's what I believe.
Yeah, and then they did the rollout. So to start a game, they would just take a ball and
Scramble.
roll it, and
Right.
these people had to fight for it.
And then most people
stupid.
got injured.
Yeah, it was the dumbest
Scramble.
thing. It's like, I don't know who thought of that, but God, that's so
Vince,
stupid.
man.
Yeah.
He's like, why do you do the coin toss when they could fight instead? It's so-
They start the game with a gunshot, but it
Yeah.
literally is loaded with one bullet, and they just let it fall on the city.
Dude,
wherever it
I'm
falls.
literally gonna go home and watch the 30 for 30 on the XFL now because I'm like so interested.
Is there one?
Yeah,
I didn't realize
they
they made
did it
one.
like last year. It was
Oh,
done
nice.
by Charlie Ebersol.
Oh, really?
And that's what got him like interested.
Oh
in it.
shit, I'd watch that too, man.
God, you know how fun it is to be Vince McMahon in terms of you have so much money, you could make a sports league fail and it doesn't hurt you financially.
Yeah, it didn't. He still is.
Well, look at
fine.
Donald Trump did with the
He's got Saudi
USFL.
money.
He's fine. That's so
Yeah.
fun.
It's crazy. They got Saudi money too, and they're going back to Saudi Arabia in like a week.
Is the XFL going to? The name is so inherently trashy.
It
X
is.
is the trashiest letter.
X was like all 1999 Generation X and like Extreme,
Yeah.
Triple. Yeah, exactly.
The crotch
Crotch
shot.
shot
Wait, is it
DX.
this?
It's
It's
that
this.
one. Yeah,
It's
you have to
crotch.
make an X with your crotch.
It doesn't even look natural on me.
Yeah.
It's so noodly and
Yeah, I know. I feel like you're
And
using
limp.
the wrong hand on top. Wait.
God.
until
And you bit your lip.
I
God,
know.
you fucking nerd.
Ugh.
Side C.
Oh my god.
In those wrestling intros, this is so fucking trashy but awesome. When they would do the X-Pac, they would have like a firework that was right there. That when he did this, it would go like
X and go up. Yeah,
and it looked as if he was coming a firework.
Yeah,
so sick.
It was sick. My 13-year-old mind was like, "It's fucking badass, dude. It's fucking amazing." Yeah, it was trashy. Anything X is like, I mean, Triple X was like 2003.
Yeah.
Extreme. Everything was just fucking extreme.
Generation X, bro.
Yeah.
Puddle of mud, man. That's where it all came from.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
that.
She loves the way you slap my ass.
I love the way wasn't there like a you love the way you pull your hair or something like
It's
that.
so bad.
You look Pennington to me. I forgot how it goes.
God damn, I can't wait for the XFL.
Bad song. Yeah, the XFL, dude. Spring football could work, man. Is it right after the Super Bowl?
I have
People love football so much.
And I know the team names will be so. The city is going to be Blue Lives, and the team is Matter.
Oh my god!
Like that's the Blue Lives Matter.
Oh my god! It's just named after the fire department, the police
versus the Newtown Liars.
Oh god, damn it! Oh no!
It's you know what I mean. It's gonna be
the Fox News Patriots.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one team. It's the Patriots versus the Pinheads. It's the Bill O'Reilly.
Oh my god!
I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it has a legit chance to actually be something real, not something gimmicky. The first time it was a complete gimmick.
No. I don't know if I'm being clear. I want all gimmick. I don't want.
Well, you're not.
more
You're
football.
looking in the wrong spot because this is going to be an attempt at something real, and if it doesn't work, it's not going to be because it was trying to be gimmicky. This is a legit attempt to make an alternative.
Because
to the
I
NFL.
could see Vince McMahon putting all of his political and ideological frustrations into this league. There's one team that's going to be like the Las Vegas but then it's outfitted with just like the puniest, it's outfitted with like dudes like me, so we just get destroyed.
Yeah.
But we are the they.
It is funny
You know what I
because
mean?
one of the heels in wrestling is Daniel Bryan, but he's like
He's
A
like a
liberal.
little redhead.
he's a liberal environmentalist,
Yeah.
like green guy, and they
That's
made
so
him like
funny
the
that-
biggest heel. I'm not even joking.
This is literally. I saw this clip on YouTube and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "That's cheating." He just comes out and he just taunts the audience with liberal philosophies.
No, he taunts the audience for using plastics.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
Yeah, dude, it's really funny.
It's really good. It's really entertaining. And he goes out in the crowd and he's like, "You fucking people buying all this cheap plastic at the concession stand, filling your fat faces with popcorn. Why don't you eat green and eat vegan like me?" It's awesome.
But oh my god, that's why Trump's president, because that caricature of liberals, man, it's real. It's real and people hate it.
Yeah.
I think Daniel O'Brien is partially to blame for Trump's ascent.
Dude, I blame liberals 100%. I said it on a few podcasts ago, but I really dude, I was in a little mini debate this week on Facebook over the Creek and the Cave booking. Legion of Skanks podcast booking Milo as a guest, and
So we should give context to people who don't know this.
They record at Creek and the Cave, which is a comedy venue in Queens, and it's kind of like an alternative comedy venue. And a lot of the people who, let's face it, a lot of people who perform most places in New York are very liberal, and they basically were saying, "Why are you giving a platform to a Nazi?" They went after the owner of the Creek and the Cave, which I thought was incredibly unfair. They went after the Creek itself. They went after a lot of people. And it's pretty insane how. There was an argument on Facebook.
I don't think for people who don't know, this podcast, Legion of Skanks, is very successful. Booked Milo Yiannopoulos, or whatever. He's related to Giannis, the Bucks player.
I was going to say,
Jesus
I was going to say Giannis Pappas. I was like, what?
The Greek freak?
No, he's related to Giannis. This is two last names that are very Greek, and I can't pronounce.
Basically,
that's a stupid joke. But they booked Milo Yiannopoulos or whatever it is, and he's
very outspoken, controversial, alt-right.
Yeah, and so
I don't
a
know
lot
if
of
he's
people,
alt-right,
but at least his opponents would classify him
Yes.
as that, and he leans into that philosophy.
Yeah.
And then people got mad at the Creek for hosting Legion of Skanks podcast, or not even officially hosting, but saying on the schedule we won't host. Right?
They were just mad that it was taking place at the Creek, which is where the Legion of Skanks record their podcast, and that Milo is going to be at the Creek. That pissed off a lot of comedians. To which I basically said, like, to me, like, it's not a legal issue of freedom of speech, like a governmental issue of freedom of speech, but if you believe in the philosophy of freedom of speech, in that, like the Voltaire quote is, if you don't believe in freedom of speech for your worst enemy, then you don't believe in it at all. We can't sit around here and try to silence and deplatform people, because that turns them into folk heroes for their side. And their base actually gathers more centered around these people, because they seem as if they're being persecuted by everybody by deplatforming them off Twitter and taking away the... So my argument was just like, let people hear the ideas and make it decision for themselves, because that's what America is, you know. And I basically said that without having any political affiliation, without saying, you know, I'm a Republican or conservative. And this guy basically said to me, he goes, you probably jerk off into your own mouth while watching Ben Shapiro videos, and you're an emotionless sociopath. I didn't call it was a very civil conversation. I wouldn't even call it a debate. It was literally like we were just kind of talking about what was going on. And I had my stance on it, and this guy literally, without knowing a thing about me, with the only thing that I said that could be is just saying the freedom of speech. And the other thing I said was, I said, can we stop acting like Alex, because they're like, the world's a better place now that Alex Jones was deplatformed. I was like, how many people actually listen to Alex? Like, what effect is Alex Jones on the American zeitgeist? How many people listen to him and actually... He doesn't move the needle. He's Alex Jones. He's nuts. Everybody knows he's nuts. The people who don't know he's nuts are already nuts.
Well,
and then they made the argument. He was like, yeah, but all the people who died, and he named a bunch of people. He's like, tell that to them and their families. And I'm like, that's not fair to do that. That's not a fair argument to make, that blaming Alex Jones for someone killing somebody.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that's like the same people who went after like Marilyn Manson from Columbine. You can't do that. That's a dishonest argument.
Is that the Pizzagate thing? Is that what he's referring to?
I don't fucking know.
The point is, I mean, yeah, even I think your point is valid in that even people who you find to be grotesque, idiot, vile, deplatforming them is as in taking away their show on YouTube or on whatever radio. Like, that's not these corporations that are now the center of they're like cultural watering holes. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. People will say that they're private companies so they can do whatever they want, which is technically true.
It's technically true.
Their service, let's be real, is completely public.
Yeah.
This is now where speech exists for so much of our population, and so much of our population's, so much of their lives.
This is where the president of the United States goes to talk, to address the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal.
Right. Yeah.
I think that the whole deplatform. It's also like you gave
a civil war would start if they deleted Trump's Twitter.
But everybody complained about giving Milo a platform. But what people don't realize is what got Milo in trouble in the first place, and him losing his job at Breitbart was Joe Rogan giving him a platform, and then him saying pedophilia is kind of cool. Or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And that made him, Breitbart, go, hey, you can't work here anymore. You have to resign.
So funny.
So, like, that's what happens in America when you have platforms. People might overstep and fuck up, and there's consequences to that. But, like, if you just silence them, that doesn't really help anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really weird thing, especially to go after you in that way of, like, well, you're a fucking piece of shit because you don't immediately agree with all this shit.
Did he call you? He didn't call you fat or anything?
No, not everybody is as lazy as you are.
No, yeah, because for sure, first button, but yeah.
I don't think deplatforming people is like, and also like the only time I ever hear about Alex Jones is from a liberal telling me how bad he is. Like, I never hear some like an Alex Jones fan going, "Did you hear what he said today?" Like, making some good points.
There should be a law that, I don't know if this is an actual thing, but like views a video has, and then next to that, hate views. Like, if there was a way to log who is watching this because they're like, I'm either curious, interested, or a fan, and who is watching this because they fucking love that they hate it, and this person is giving them red meat of outrage.
Right.
Tommy Lahren, same way. It's like all of her views when she says something that's deliberately provocatively moronic.
Yeah.
It's all liberals
But
sharing it on
their
Facebook.
That's so funny because you're 100% correct. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a huge fan base. They have people who hate watch them. It's like the Kardashians and the Housewives, where like everybody who watches it says, "I don't really like this. I'm just watching because they're train wrecks and I enjoy it. That my life isn't as bad as theirs or whatever reason." I agree
And you're
with
like, your life's not. They don't work. They're doing better.
I know. Like they're in a $3 million pool right now. It's like they're clearly better than you.
They're not. Yeah. I just watch because the Kardashians. They make me feel smart. No, they're smarter than us for sure.
But yeah, it's a crazy issue because you can't. There's no like. All I have to do is say freedom of speech, and then I just disagreed with this guy's notion that Alex Jones is responsible for people dying. And I don't think that's fair. That's like the people who say Grand Theft Auto causes school shootings, and it's like just because somebody saw something and then went and did something, that person's crazy. If that person sees Alex Jones and then goes and kills somebody, you can't blame Alex Jones because that guy's insane. No rational, sane human being would act that way.
Right.
And unless Alex Jones is literally going, "You guys need to pick up guns and go kill those people," even that. Which would probably be more of a problem, is still like no one has to do that. Like,
watch this. This is keep talking, Whit.
Yeah.
This is keep talking. This is our form of deplatforming you. I just turned his. I just turned his mic literally off.
It was a false flag. 9/11.
He's been
deplatformed.
You can't silence me. God, Goffa Tonkin.
You just replatformed him.
I just replatformed
It's so
you.
dangerous of you, Brett.
It's
This is dangerous now.
Yeah.
No, I would hope. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if someone tweeted that they wanted you deplatformed, Whit.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, oh, our podcast's like, hey, we got people who hate us.
Yeah, I just think it's incredible too that both sides think they're so bullied. Like I
everybody
saw
does.
so the Creek made a decision to basically say you can do whatever podcast you want to do, but you can't do it here, which is fair for them to say that.
I mean, yeah, what are they gonna do? You can't have a conversation with another grown adult.
Yeah, of
wherever
course.
you want.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? If you want to record him, that's totally fair. You book your podcast, but you just can't do it in our building because we don't believe in it. That's totally fair. But I do think when I saw that was a decision, people were like, after getting bullied, they made the right decision. It's like, who was bullying again? Because I got bullied for being the other way around, just saying freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like both sides are convinced that they're being bullied and attacked.
I don't know where this thing came from where it's okay to like yell at people that you don't like, especially in like if there's like a town hall meeting. Now there's this thing where it's like if you feel like the person who's talking is evil, you get to go, "You're a fucking monster," like in the crowd or whatever.
But
like
it's zero to Nazi. That's what it is. It's
really
like you're
is.
like the comedians who run Legion of Skanks are comedians. They're not Nazis. They're not even affiliated with political parties. They have a provocative podcast on purpose. They're all funny dudes, and people are literally calling them out as Nazis. I'm like, how can you just? How do you have
people
no?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you have no cognitive dissonance to be like these people are not? You're literally you're a bad human being to do that to somebody.
I think
just because he's having a conversation with someone, even if he's dude, Oprah interviewed Nazis and KKK people. Like I don't understand. Like
here's the thing though, it's like it's a very limited perspective and limited experience set. Like these people, the kind of people that do this kind of. They're not like they don't engage with people that aren't like them.
Yeah.
They as much as like they like to tout how open minded they are, but they don't like.
They're not.
They would. Yeah. They wouldn't. Wouldn't talk to somebody. They wouldn't talk to anybody who's vastly different or comes from a hugely different lifestyle. Like if you walk with those kids or whatever, like those guys, like and like some dude from the hood like starts talking to them, they get wildly uncomfortable and start like pushing away from the bench and like they don't talk as much and they get weird and you're like, oh, you just don't talk to anybody who's not like you and you get weird
even though they're like a hyper left and they like
and they're open-minded.
They're very social, like socially.
Of course.
I'll give you an example. I had a conversation with a liberal person talking about the abortion thing. And I had the audacity just to say, listen, this is a very crazy issue because Louis talked about it in his bit about it on that Netflix special. But people who don't believe in abortion think that abortion is killing a baby.
Right.
And the people who don't think it's killing a baby think it's killing a fetus. And it's just what the definition of what do you think, what is okay with you? So in one person's perspective, killing a fetus that's 8 weeks old is not a big deal. The other person is you're killing a baby, and that's terrible. So we have to come to a compromise. So I floated the idea. How about this? How about we get rid of Roe v. Wade, and what we do is we make abortion legal everywhere, but the federal government can't fund it anymore. We can't fund Planned Parenthood. We can't fund anything like that. All of these places that want to have abortions have to raise their own money. That way, it's legal, but the government's not funding it with your tax dollars. Well, how about that for a compromise? And this woman was like, no. And I'm like, so you can't meet anybody halfway with any, how are we going to come up with any solution then? It's so you're right, and then everybody else is wrong, and that's the end of it?
Well, I can see her, I can see her wanting to disagree with privatizing abortion.
Yeah.
But I see your point as far as wanting to try
to find a compromise.
But
yeah,
I don't know
that.
if your specific example. I'm actually just like
I'm not crazy about that compromise.
I don't want I know what you. I know.
Why though? Why does our Planned Parenthood's 97% privately funded anyway? It's like when Meals on Wheels was cut, government spending.
Yeah, you're probably more informed than I am.
Because listen to me, when they cut the budget for Meals on Wheels, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Meals on Wheels is going away," and Meals on Wheels is like, "No, it sucks. That was 2% of our money that we get. We have to figure out how to get that 2% somewhere else. It's not that much of their budget."
Because if you privatize it, it's going to go back. It's going to be the same thing as making it sort of legal, in the sense that only rich people will be able to get them.
Yeah,
and the people that need to get them are kind of poor people.
Plus, every 6 months, there's going to be a better version of it that you wish you had. So why?
You don't want to update.
So then you're just waiting, and then it's already 9 months, and you're
but the thing is, if you make it illegal, it's not going to stop people from getting them. So
of course,
rich people are going to get them anyway. They're just going to be black market abortions.
Compromise.
Completely unsafe, and then
check this compromise out. It's called Baby Purge Night.
Sounds like the babies are doing the purging.
It does kind of. One day a year, abortion is so incredibly legal.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And I mean, you can kill a kid
anybody under 5 years old.
Before the age of 5. Baby Purge Night. You tried this one out for 3 years. You don't like him. X his ass. You're 8.5 months, but you want an abortion. Baby Purge Night. Check it out. I already gave birth and you're 2 months, but wait for Baby Purge Night. Is that a good compromise? I don't know. All right. Work with me. What else?
What else you got?
What I mean, these solutions are kind of it would be fun to be a government member and be like, all right, compromise. You guys hate them. You guys think they have value. Tuesdays and Thursdays, people can get abortions. That's kind of a good compromise. It's kind of awful, but it's kind of good.
Did you ever
it would work in your office if there was an office debate about abortion and a lot of, I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to do a Chris Farley thing.
But yeah, if you, do feel free.
The Simpsons joke where the aliens come, or the aliens come and they're
I don't know that one.
The aliens come and they're running for senator, or they dress up as Bill Clinton and Bob Dole back in the '96 election or whatever it was, and then they're doing a speech and one of them goes, "Abortions for all," and then people go boo, and then he goes, "All right, abortions for no one," and everyone goes, "Boo!" And he's like, "All right, abortions for some, and miniature American flags for the rest of us." And I was like, "Yay!" It's it's exactly what it is, and it's I can't believe we're still having this debate. And that's a sentiment that's been echoed on Facebook a lot. But I understand why we're still having this debate, but it's we did settle this. I feel like we should be a little bit beyond this, but I get why I get it.
Can I throw a third one? Another compromise out?
Yeah.
Check it out. We have abortion clinics, which a lot of people don't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if we had, check this idea out, non-abortion clinics? What it is an office. You go in, you sit down, and you just tell the nurse or doctor, I don't want to get an abortion, and I think it's wrong. And they go, great.
Yeah, cool.
And then you can leave. They don't do anything there, but you just get to tell someone in a lab coat they think abortion is wrong.
Yeah.
And there's Planned Parenthood, and then there's Planned. Just live.
It's kind of Planned Parenthood in a way. It's I'm gonna have this baby. Good for you. Let's talk about it. All right, great. We have a plan.
yeah, that is true. Planned Parenthoods do abort babies, and it is called parenthood.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm becoming very pro-life.
Yeah. Well, it's like Carlin said, is like pro-life and pro-choice. Like choice and life aren't opposites of each other, but
Right.
they're different sides. Anyway, I think we're probably over time. What do you guys think? Want to wrap this up?
If
on
you want, we
abortion?
can like just go for another 20 minutes and randomly I'll throw out more abortion compromises.
How about this?
All right.
This is what we do. No abortions. Well, here we go. Abortion is legal in every state besides Alabama. And if you want to live in a world where there's no abortions, you have to live in Alabama.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
You-
I'm down with that.
So if you're fine, maybe we'll add in Mississippi and Alabama. If you want to live in a pro-life
if it
world,
means that much to you,
go
you'll
live in
Alabama.
Mississippi and Alabama.
I like that.
We'll take the rest. Totally fair and square. You guys have your area. We have our area.
Yeah. But there is one.
But still no Jews.
Check it out. One safe haven city, refugee city in Alabama where abortion's all legal. It's called Abortionville, USA. Compromise. Work with me.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's like the green zone in Iraq.
There's
wasteland.
there
everywhere,
actually
cars
should-
flipped over.
free thought, and then we can shut it off. There should be one just pocket of the country where anything goes. Like
Just lawless.
literally lawless.
Yeah.
It's
literally the Wild Wild West. Like
80 mile by 80 mile square. It's in North Dakota. You go there, anything's legal.
How about Alabama?
You can fuck a horse. That's what I would do. You can do whatever you want to do. Alabama?
Alabama. I think Alabama and Mississippi are the worst states.
Yeah.
I've been to both of them. They're pretty terrible. I think it should all go down there.
Yeah.
But is it like, you drive through it and you're like, oh, fuck, we got to drive through to get to Vegas. And then it's like Road Warriors, like, well, people can kill you.
Yeah,
Or is it
yeah,
just like
yeah.
a place where you're just like,
Well, we let
we like to fuck dogs. And
we let them pick their own government and whatever rules
Yeah.
they want.
so it's
And
like
if-
its own
if-
country.
Yeah, and if you go into Alabama, and it's weird that no one can read, and there's a problem with population because you're not allowed to have abortions, and the education's terrible, so all the kids are stupid, and they make dumb people, and everything sucks, and the economy's terrible, and then you go, hey, a little bit of liberalism isn't so bad, is it? Mm-hmm. And
And
yeah,
they cut your head off.
they cut your head off.
Yeah.
But I get let
Kill
them have
the
whatever
witch.
law they like. You can kill you if you go into their state. That's fine. We'll just don't go there. There's no reason to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, but who's gonna watch the XFL?
It'll only take place in there.
The Alabama Lifers. The first tape.
The NRA Gun Patriots is a team in the XFL.
I still think it's funny if you're a doctor who gives an abortion, they'll give you a 100-year sentence. But if you rape a 10-year-old girl, get her pregnant, you get like 55 years.
Well, I mean,
That's
come on.
Alabama.
That's look, that abortion's fucking harsh.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
man.
wish you wouldn't have ended on that fact because I can't think of a joke for it.
I know.
And now
Like,
we're just like, okay, we're ending on like that fact, and I'm like, fuck, I'll do an ironically racist thing. That's my go-to.
Or just the cheap
Or-
fat joke on wit.
If you want, anytime I can't think of a joke.
Oh yeah, it's at this point it's
Whoa,
it's,
whoa, whoa, whoa!
it's-
Just be
it's
careful. Just be careful with which floorboard you step on.
It's literally it's fruit that is literally on the ground. It's not even low hanging anymore.
No, if it's fruit,
It's
you
just
definitely won't.
sitting
If it's fruit, you definitely won't touch it.
there it is.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
You helped me get to a good one. Yeah. Now we can end the episode in
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Really happy with the ending. It's awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Legalize it, baby. Abortion. There's gonna be shirts
know.
that are gonna say "legalize it," and it's just gonna be like a fetus with a
With an
fucking-
X.
Yeah, but it's legal, and it's got a joint in its mouth too.
should just say abortion is hilarious.
I kind of I like the idea of a legalize it shirt, but with all the shit you want legal on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, a pot leaf,
Abortion, pot leaf.
a
baby with an X over
a baby
it.
with
An X.
a baby with an X over
Backwards hat.
it.
Is the backwards hat Trayvon?
What else do I
Oh,
want?
Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't even know where that came from.
What else is a backwards hat?
I mean, like
A
a Tweety Bird T-shirt from the '90s, like
What that one fucking Eric Gardner would wear? It's like, Jesus.
like Jesus.
We keep naming the worst
I
one.
I thought you were saying things that you wanted to be outlawed on your shirt.
No,
and then one of them was a
legalize it.
backwards hat. I was like,
We're
okay,
like,
so you're going with
Well,
the
he was
No.
just going with the thing of like giving the
Oh.
fetus like a blunt. to
Shit, I
smoke.
want legal. I want fetuses smoking blunts. I want humans fucking horses. And I want...
You should throw one weird one in there, like
That's
that's,
a-
not
humans
like,
fucking horses isn't weird.
like yeah,
that just went right into your
yeah.
head,
I was
and
like
you're
tame.
like, yeah,
that's
that's
too
cool.
tame.
Yeah,
But
dude.
it would be good if there was the fetus, the weed leaf, and then a
Like
weird
a
one.
gun, and you're like, well, you don't know what that guy's all about.
That's what we call the Libertarian Party.
That is true. Oh, he's a little more complex.
Or you just have like the fetus smoking a blunt with the gun in one hand, and you're like, man, this guy really wants a lot of stuff going.
But then a fetus smoking a blunt with a gun in its hand, take away the legalize it.
Yeah.
And that looks like shitty high school
Yeah.
art.
It just
that
looks
looks like
like
a high
alien art.
schooler. Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks like what a high schooler would be like, this is edgy.
Fucking dope.
Fucking dope. Like,
You
they
do.
don't know.
You have a fetus smoking a blunt with a gun in its hand, shooting another fetus. And you're like, what? You don't know what to think. Like, I don't get it.
A lot of mixed messages going
Here's
on.
my
then-
point.
and then the
Abortions are legal if done by a fetus.
But yeah. And then the text just on that image just says, how many lives? Question mark. And you're like, I don't know what he's going for.
And he's wearing a MAGA hat, the fetus. It's like, there's a lot of imagery
But
here.
the gun is a gay rainbow flag. You're like, Some very
God, we need to make like purposely vague political message shirts.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'd
Oh, that'd be
stand for that
amazing.
all day. That's the next merch. Keep it up for it, guys. We'll be on our websites. at some point.
yeah, legalize it.
Yeah.